Hi, it's me, Regan. If you watch one of my first videos of me on screen, you'll recall that I said I wouldn't be here very much and that I would be creating videos that would have probably my cloned voice over them. And the reason I said I wouldn't be here very much is that nobody wants to look at this face for 10 or 15 minutes, really. I'm not that animated. So I don't make it funny or make gestures that would want you to watch. But I've been writing my newsletter frequently, and there's some of those things in the newsletter that I think are important for you to hear. Not because I'm any Einstein, they're simply things that come to mind as I grow older and am challenged with. And I'm hoping that some of the things I do, or that I've learned, as ways to overcome the challenges would be helpful to you. So this is one of those. I created this particular video to show you or to talk about challenges that I have when life throws you a curveball, especially when you're 80. And I wanted to share that with you. So what I've done is I've taken that particular newsletter and I've turned it into a video. The video does have my clone voice over it. I want you to know that right off the bat. And I'm hoping you'll find it interesting. I'm hoping you'll find some value in it. And I would love for you to give me comments about what you think I said, what you think I shouldn't have said, or what I could have said. Or at the very least, if you found it helpful, something to make your life a little easier and something to help me decide what I should share with you going forward. I may not do it all the time. I'm like many of us oldies. I get a bee in my bonnet about something and I will write a newsletter about it. Doesn't mean that I'm complaining about it. Usually if I got a bee in my bonnet, I'm trying to figure out how to get it out. And if I do, then I share it in my newsletter. So that being said, I'm going to segue into that video and hopefully you'll find it of value. Thanks. Hope to talk to you soon.
Navigating life's curveballs. Later in life. Finding strength in a chaotic world. Taking a closer look at how embracing life in retirement isn't just about adapting to chaos, but thriving amid it. Discovering non-mainstream tactics to handle the challenges of aging gracefully. The older I get, the more I realize just how elusive the concept of winning can be, especially when it comes to creating a new chapter in retirement. Looking back on the last few years, I know I did my best. My career was demanding, and I poured everything into it, taking every opportunity that came my way. If there was work to be done, whether at a construction site, drilling rig, or plant in some remote location, I was on the plane. Always a contractor, never an employee. I chased stability, but never truly found it. The constant hustle left little room for long-term planning or saving. So, when retirement finally came, later than expected, I wasn't ready. Still, I was determined to embrace this new stage of life with everything I had. My lifelong motto, never give in, give up, or give out, had carried me through before. And I leaned on it again, knowing that dwelling on past missteps would only drag me down. But lately, it feels like no matter how hard I push forward, the world keeps throwing obstacles in my way. Some days it's political turmoil. Other days, it's health concerns or financial worries. And beyond my own struggles, global uncertainty looms larger than ever. What was supposed to be a more peaceful, less stressful stage of life is starting to feel like just another uphill climb. The real kicker is that because we're older and more aware of our mortality, every new chaos feels heavier. There's less time to bounce back, less energy to reinvent ourselves yet again. When we're young, it's easier to shrug off losses or false starts. But in retirement, we want something solid to hold on to. We want to relish our freedom without the anxiety of the next big world event overshadowing our joy. And yet here we are, living in a world that seems to thrive on upheaval. You might be thinking, sure, we can't change the world, but we can change how we react to it. It's a piece of advice we've all heard 1,000 times. But how? In a time when it feels like each day brings a new crisis, discovering innovative, non-mainstream ways to cope may be the key not just to surviving, but also to reclaiming the sense of purpose and peace we'd hoped retirement would bring. So, for my own well-being, and for the well-being of anyone reading this, I've started looking for everyday approaches, as in different from the standard just get over it, that don't berate us for being human and won't take a lifetime to master. Below are a few that might help turn the tide, or at least make the stormy waters a little more navigable. Embrace the art of doing nothing, but with intention. We usually think of doing nothing as laziness, but in many cultures, especially in certain Eastern practices, there is a notion that actively choosing stillness can be a powerful tool for clarity. Call it mindful idleness. When the world's noise becomes deafening, carve out a small space in your day to literally just sit. No TV, no phone, no music. Focus on your breath and observe the thoughts that come up. You'll notice how many worries flutter through your mind uninvited. Over time, you can learn to let these worries pass by rather than pulling up a chair for them. We often underestimate the power of simple rituals. Perhaps you make a particular cup of herbal tea every morning, lighting a candle as you wait for the water to boil. Or maybe you have a special seat in your home by a window where you sit with a warm blanket and watch the sunrise. Repetitive, comforting rituals act like emotional anchors. By deliberately creating small, predictable moments, you give yourself an emotional safety net, something you can count on when everything else is uncertain. There's a reason art therapy exists. Engaging in childlike creativity, whether it's painting, coloring books, crafting with clay, or even working on a puzzle, can help silence the adult anxieties swirling around in your head. And you don't have to be good at it. The point is simply to immerse yourself in an activity that lets your brain wander away from the tumult of the world. Allow yourself to be a beginner, to feel the simple joy of creating something without a scoreboard or a deadline. It's not just about getting rid of stuff. Minimalism, at its core, is about learning to see what's essential and letting go of what's not. Start small. Reduce the number of junk emails you subscribe to. Reorganize a closet. Or let go of items in your home that serve no real purpose. As you unburden your external environment, you might notice a parallel feeling of lightness internally. Each unnecessary item or commitment or worry we let go of makes room for more meaningful moments and less cluttered thoughts. Practice future-focused gratitude. Gratitude lists are common. People often write down what they're thankful for at the end of the day. But why not flip the script and practice future-focused gratitude? Instead of just reflecting on what you already have, take a few minutes to write about the good you expect or hope to see in the next month or year. It might feel strange, but this sets a positive tone for the future and encourages a sense of anticipation rather than dread. Think of it as planting a hopeful seed in your mind, preparing you to recognize and nurture new opportunities rather than brace against them. Listen to the wisdom of your elders. Yes, even more elderly than you. You might already be considered an elder, but there's always someone older. Someone who's seen more of life's ups and downs. Seek out their stories. How did they cope when the world was in upheaval 5 decades ago, or even longer? You might discover hidden gems of wisdom, old folkloric remedies for stress, time-tested community-building tactics, or simply a reminder that the world has always had its share of chaos. Yet life goes on. This act of connecting with even older generations can help you feel rooted in a lineage of resilience. Get weird with your spiritual practice. Perhaps you've tried traditional prayer or meditation, but there are countless other spiritual practices out there that might resonate on a different level. Try chanting, drumming circles, or simply talking out loud to the universe. You'd be surprised how cathartic it can be. You could even experiment with guided imagery exercises, where you use your imagination to envision yourself in peaceful, empowering scenarios. The key here is to stay open-minded and curious rather than dismissing something as too weird. When the mainstream no longer soothes your soul, it might be time to explore the fringes. Less time doesn't have to mean less life. Yes, we're older now. Yes, the future sometimes looms like a shadow, reminding us we have less time to recover from failures, less room to build brand new empires. But if we shift our mindset, maybe we don't need to build empires anymore. Maybe we need to build sanctuaries instead. A sanctuary in our minds, our homes, and in our day-to-day experiences. A place where we can find peace amid the storm, fulfillment amid the uncertainty, and hope even when the headlines tell us otherwise. By exploring new paths, whether it's mindful idleness, childlike creativity, or unconventional spiritual practices, we can discover that life still has a richness to offer, even in retirement, even when chaos knocks at our door. Let's embrace the truth that winning might look different now. Maybe it's not about conquering the world. Maybe it's about finding our equilibrium. And that, my friends, is a victory worth celebrating.